Hey guys, I wanted to make a video and show you some shortcuts for a couple of the bows whenever you upgrade them. I also wanted to show you guys some stuff that they have patched and also some things that still do work. Basically, this is just a video about things that I think are interesting or helpful. A lot of you guys may know about this stuff, but there's a lot of new players on PC and Xbox that are new to the game, so I wanted to go ahead and show it. This is a nice little shortcut for the storm bow. You don't have to go down to the rocket test launch site to light this bonfire right here, so this will save you at least 1,000 points. You just stand at this window by this buildable table and aim above that tree, and right there, kind of you see the mountains where I'm at. It's a single shot, don't charge the bow, and if you do it right, yeah, you'll be able to light that bonfire. You can get to another bonfire from this window as well, and I think this is probably the easiest spot on the map to aim for this one. This is about as close as you can get to it, but what I do is I aim, right above the bonfire, and then what I use for a guide is those two spotlights, and I aim about, I don't know, maybe a third up the way of the spotlights. It's kind of where they start to dim a little bit, but if you do a charge shot, yeah, you should be able to hit it no problem. Again, this video is just shortcuts. If you guys want to know how to build the storm bow, like the full tutorial, I will have that down in the description. Another thing that's nice about this is that the electric urn is right here, so you can just electrify your bow, and yeah, you don't have to go across the map. I think originally I was like taking the launch pad and going to the other side of the castle until I found out about this window thing, so I was like, yeah, this is definitely helpful. To electrify the other bonfire, you will have to go down to the launch site. There's no shortcut for that. You can only electrify that one bonfire from that window there. The next tip is for the wolf bow, and there's a part where you have to feed souls to a little pile that he digs up, and if you actually stand inside of the wolf, the zombies can't hit you. Now they will push you out, but it might help you a little bit if you're trying to feed souls and you've got zombies surrounding you. It might give you just a little bit of protection. There are 3 areas that you have to do this in. So right here in the courtyard, there's also one by double tap, and then the last one is in the pyramid room by the pack-a-punch machine. And yeah, these are tricks that I use, so I definitely wanted to share these with you guys because I do find them useful. Another step in building the wolf bow, you have to activate these pictures in a certain order, and this is something that I learned from Rad Austin, so big shout out to him. Again, I'm not showing the whole tutorial of the wolf bow, I'm just showing the very small parts that are shortcuts. So these picture frames are always in the same spot on the map, but the pictures themselves will randomize to one of these 4 pictures. Again, you have to go up to them and hold X or square on them in a specific order to make this step work. An easy way to remember this order is just to remember these 4 words. So it's King, Knight, Cthulhu, and then Death. And you can see how these words represent each of the paintings. Obviously a king sitting on his throne, then a knight on his horse. Then the Cthulhu painting is like that tentacle thing you can see up in the right in the sky. And then obviously the last one is the king where he's dead. And something about the last painting maybe a lot of people know about. I just found out about it maybe just a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was really cool, but people are saying they definitely think that's Leroy, and it looks like he is bent over with his head down. At first he's hard to see, but if you look closely, and I've got an outline right here, yeah, it looks like his arm on the right and his hand is touching his shoulder and his head is down and he's kind of in a crouched position, and it kind of looks like some laces on his boot on the bottom there. So that is definitely bizarre, and it will mess with your head. Like, what is Leroy doing in this painting? It doesn't really fit the timeline. The next thing I'm going to show you guys are a couple of things they've patched and changed, and then one thing that still works. There was one trick I was going to put in here to show you guys how to do it, but they have recently patched it, and what it was how to get a max ammo on one of these upgraded bows. For example, if you were in a game with 2 people and one of you built the storm bow, the other person built the wolf bow, and you both were holding them and you both spent all your ammo on them and they were like down to no ammo, you could go put your bows back and trade bows. And if originally I had the storm bow, I'd put it back and I would go get the other player's wolf bow. Well, I would now have a max ammo on it. Like, it only works one time, and it works for all the bows. Like the first time you pick up the Demon Gate bow or the Rune Prism bow, you would have a max ammo on it. Well, that doesn't work anymore. However much ammo was used on that bow before the player put it back, that is what is saved now. So if I'm a player going to pick up a bow that another player just used all the ammo on, then it's not going to have any ammo when I go to get it. One thing that does still work though is duplicating the bows. All 4 players could have the same bow, so if everybody wanted the storm bow, you could duplicate it 4 times. It's a method that uses arms grace, so that is a free gobblegum, and I do have a full tutorial on that, and it will be down in the description if you guys are interested. The last thing I'm going to show you guys is this skeleton Easter egg where you can turn all the zombies into skeletons. Before the recent patch, you could trigger these skeletons by just building the Wrath of the Ancients, the bow, and then go shoot these skulls in these 3 areas. Now you couldn't see the skulls, but you could still still shoot them and hear the noises and then get the skeletons. And with the gobblegum in plain sight, you could actually see like what you were shooting at. But the gobblegum wasn't required to actually do the Easter egg. Well, since the recent patch, it is now required. You have to have in plain sight to be able to trigger these skulls. One in plain sight gobblegum gets 2 uses, and you'll have to use both of them to be able to do this full Easter egg. And it looks like at the beginning of the game when it came out, yeah, it wasn't working properly and we were actually getting a shortcut. But it seems like they gotta fix a lot of stuff, like the plunger thing wasn't working and now they've had to make adjustments to this one. So for the future maps that come out, I'm gonna expect like the Easter eggs to probably have some issues. I got another clip of the day for you guys, so stay tuned for that and we'll see you next video.
I do not believe we were lifted by the spirits.